Hey, hey, welcome back. All right, here we go. This is going to be a single storyline. Let's take a look and see what we've got. We start with the Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles is the energy of somebody wanting to give and receive, ideally in equal quantities. This could be somebody who's just really like spiritually balanced, though, as well. This could be a person who is, they've created a nice life for themselves. They like where they are, who they are. They enjoy the status that they're currently in. And we have the Two of Wands. Two of Wands, though, is a choice on how to proceed forward. I kind of think that we have a single individual whose life is amazing, but they are getting some download that they don't quite understand yet from the universe. And I say that just because we've got kind of like the Milky Way, spiraling brightly right on the capstone of the pyramid. And the pyramids are always a great mystery. And those ankhs speak of, life, and we have two different lives. Do we have somebody who's either strangely recognizing that they are repeating a past life up until this point, and now they have the opportunity? You notice how she's decidedly leaning more toward one direction. I'm feeling like this may have a murky, like deja vu. We could have a single character who's having these weird deja vu moments, or they feel like they are at a place. I mean, heck, maybe this is somebody who literally has lived a certain lifestyle. Then, sometimes we do this where we grow up in a certain town doing a certain thing. Then we mature and we move away from our town and we go into the big world and we take on a whole different career path and live, a chunk of our life, maybe a quarter of our life doing something. And then we cycle back around, or we find ourselves, I'm not saying back where we started exactly, but let's just say at a similar crossroads. Either this character could have moved back to where they were originally from, or they have the opportunity to do so and they're asking themselves, would this be a good idea, or would this be me rehashing something? We could also say that this is a character saying, I feel as if I've done this all before, but I'm about to have an opportunity to make another decision, much like one I've already made once upon a time, that helped me get into a more balanced frame of my life. We have that Temperance card. So everything here speaks of a character saying, I have the opportunity to choose a path that will make my life continuously balanced, or more balanced, or balanced once again. And we've got the two koi wrapping around each other, very much in yin yang energy. Hang on. Can we go back to that Two of Wands for just a moment? So we have the Nurturer of Cups. This is actually a Queen of Cups, but we have a masculine on this cup. So we do have the yin yang energy because we've got masculine and feminine depicted here. This could be about, what do I do? Have I just fallen in love with somebody? Does this remind me of a pattern that I took once upon a time when I loved someone before? Do I have the capacity to have fallen for somebody different, or does this person remind me an awful lot of somebody that I knew in the past? There's something here where our character continuously is seeking balance. We have liberation. See, I'm starting to lean toward a character is aware that we maybe get tested to and see, will we make the same decision all over again? Like, I feel like we're telling a story of somebody who's made choices in their life. They've bit by bit, created great balance in their life, but now they find themselves at a similar precipice. What do I want to give to? What do I want to welcome in? And they are saying, now remember, this feels familiar, but I want to make a choice that makes me balanced. I want to make sure that maybe I free myself from an old pattern. And this is my chance to free myself from an old pattern. Whether this is like a karmic cycle that I've almost broken free of, but if I don't get off this next loop, that I'm standing on the precipice of having to make a decision, and it could, if I repeat the past, I go right through another cycle, or I detach and I move away from this altogether. They want to be free of something. They want to have transformed. We have we see her with butterfly wings twice here. Okay, so we've got somebody who could be coming in to give some kind of an apology with this Page of Cups. This could be somebody about to reach out to her, and an ex shows up, and maybe she's had this happen before with a different ex, somebody of my past, 5 years pass by and then they pop back up, and I can either get on that crazy wheel with them again, or say this is a different ex, but again, here we go, that 5-year cycle, and they're showing back up just like a previous ex did. What will I do this time? This is about forgiveness. This is about acceptance, but it's also about freedom. Do I want to be free of this? We can forgive somebody, be okay with them, and still be free of them. That all of that together is very possible. I feel like I need this deck. Hang on. Okay, tell me more about this situation. 7 of Wands. Okay, so I definitely feel like we have somebody trying to unblock the blockages in regards to her. Maybe this is somebody who would like to talk to her, somebody who would like to open up dialogue. She didn't ask for this, not really. We have the Magician sideways. Okay, if she's it's not like she's manifesting like, oh, I want them back. But let's say because of our own lessons in life, of course, our own karmic lessons are going to come back around to us, so we get a chance to determine. It's like when we take the exam after we've gone through a class, we learned everything we were supposed to, and now we have to be tested on that material, so we have to sit down and take our exam. We didn't want the exam, but we know that's a part of it, right? We've studied it, we've done other quizzes and lessons and stuff, but now, oh man, here it comes. Here's the big day. What do I do with this? I didn't ask for the exam, but it's a part of this. This feels like we have possibly a divine masculine hoping to come back in and unblock and say that they're sorry for something. And how she handles this does not mean she's like, look, I wasn't trying to manifest him back. I don't want this jerk. I don't think she's held hard feelings. Remember, she's got herself very nice and balanced. But when somebody's very nice and balanced, of course, that's when exes seem to pop back up. That's when we don't need to hear from somebody, when we're really healed. That's sometimes when people seem to reappear, and it's like, wow, here we go again. Okay, let me see what I'm going to do. Am I going to deal with you? Am I going to talk to you? How do I feel about this? What's my energy going to be like on this? We have a King of Swords. King of Swords, the Strength card, and we have the Knight of Wands. If she's here saying, I didn't ask to hear from this person, but they want to open up a dialogue, and maybe they want to open up and have truth. Maybe this is for them to want to speak a truth. And it could very well be that they're like, you were so strong, you were amazing, and I was all over the place. And I need to get that off my chest. It feels like somebody wants to cop to something, like, this is how I behaved. And you knew it, and you called me on it, and you held strong in, how you felt about my behavior. I don't really know why somebody would be coming back to be like, I was a cheater and you knew it. And that's, I really admire you for knowing that. I don't want to make it sound like that. The Knight of Wands can just be somebody who's scattered, but this is somebody who, they are coming in with an apology, and they are coming back in at a time where the last thing that she thinks she needs is to hear from them. But it's almost like they are coming in to tell her this anyway. But I do think that this is like her final capstone of, what do I do with this information? I feel like I've been here before. I feel like an ex has shown back up somewhere out of the blue. Here we go. We keep talking about, like, is she going to get back on that wheel of karma? This is a chance to break away from the wheel of karma. The wheel of fortune is here, meaning this is a cathartic. What is she supposed to do? Can we just get blunt? Because we're getting all murky in this. If this is a second chance for her to make a new decision about how she handles them, with the Wheel of Fortune, we have the Three of Cups. What is she supposed to do? Now, again, you do what's right for you, of course, but in this storyline, I'm just asking, universe, what is in her greatest and highest good? And the universe is saying she should have happiness in her life. She should joyfully interact with people that she feels safe with. You notice we don't see the King of Swords in her world. You have the Devil. It kind of looks like, look, if she's going to have dialogue with them, let them tell her what they need to. It may be great to hear from them. She may also still be able to say, yes, we were very toxic. Yes, I hear what you're having to say. I get it. You wanted to tell me all this. Like, yeah, that's great to hear from you. Emperor, King of Wands. Here's the way I'm going to interpret this. When I say, what is she supposed to do with this, right? Because we keep seeing she's at a similar crossroads all over again, and she's got her life organized, and bam, here comes a freaking ex who wants to come in and talk to her, talk at her. She did not ask for this other than here it is, kind of something she's got to cross this bridge. And what they want to say is like, wow, you were really amazing, and man, I was sure a hot mess back in the day. And the answer to like, what is she supposed to do about this? If she wants a new beginning, and new beginning meaning the wheel of fortune is there for her, it means she can get off of this karmic wheel. It may be time for her to recognize, hey, there's not just one pathway in my life. I don't really have to just do one thing. I can identify something was toxic, and I can also say, with that Three of Cups, we got three people. Here we have a toxic person. Here we have somebody loving. Here we have somebody really amazing as an emperor. She has three choices. She does not need to rehash anything. She can give somebody space to say what they need to say. That King of Swords, she can hear them out, take the compliment. Thanks. I'm glad you know I was real strong. Wish you well. You were a knight, whatever. I'm peaceful. Like I've totally moved on from this. So I accept your apology. You go on, live your best life. I go on, live my best life. She doesn't ever have to say, oh, it's okay. You weren't that toxic. No, it was super toxic. Acknowledge it and let it be what it was. And then she doesn't have to say, but now I have to give you a second chance. She can move on and be like, but what I want is king or an emperor, somebody warm and loving, somebody who looks great in, a red suit. Like I'm super interested in something else. I'm going to keep my options open. I'm looking for something other than somebody I already know I had a toxic pattern with. She doesn't have to say, I guess because I'm talking to them, they now get to be back in my life. She doesn't have to say, oh my God, great, an ex is showing back up. I guess that means we have unfinished business. Nope. She does not have to do any of that, which is really nice to see. Really nice to see. Lovers. She has a choice between lovers, and she should remember that. She didn't ask for the ex to come back just because they are. And I'm guessing, let's just be blunt. Let's ask, why does the ex show up at all? Why is that King of Swords showing up? The Hermit, because they've had a lot of time to think what they've been thinking about. Three of Pentacles, how much they wish they were back with her, how much she was part of their tree of life, where they've convinced themselves of this at this point. But again, they're coming back in to say, wow, you were really strong. I was a hot mess. Now I want to love you right. We got the King of Wands. If only that's what I had been instead. Should have given you my all instead of being a Knight of Wands. I should have been your King of Wands. Okay, so that's what the ex wants. So they do want another chance with her. But meanwhile, remember that the big message here is if it was still toxic, she doesn't have to pretend that, oh, because you wish now that you'd been different, I'm supposed to give you an opportunity and be like, okay, you want to be different now, so now you can come back. No, she gets to pick what lover she wants. Universe, do you have any other message for her on that lover's card? Page of Cups. It does say that, okay, let's say in the past, if she's been at this crossroads before, where once upon a time, either in a past life or maybe in this lifetime, she had somebody, maybe it was the same old song and dance, and they came back after, I'm just going to keep saying 5 years. I'm just picking a random number. And she got back together with an ex who showed back up in her life, supposedly changed. Maybe that didn't work out. Then moves on, meets somebody else, same garbage, different, same crummy drama production, different actors, right? She can choose to do it different this time. She can say, I accept your apology, even if it's fairly weak sauce, because look, it was toxic because really you were toxic. You did what you wanted to do. But thanks. I put that apology in my pocket. That's nice to hear that you wish you did it different with me. That's great. but I don't owe you more than maybe just the page's amount of energy, which is I heard you out. I accepted the apology. I'm not mad at you. I'm just good without you. And I'm just moving on. No, you don't need to keep calling me. She can go ahead because it seems like they think that if she accepts an apology from them and responds, politely, that now they can keep talking to her. She may have to say, no. If your instinct is to suddenly want to rush toward me and talk to me, no, I've heard enough of what you had to say. I thank you for your apology. I've moved on a long time ago. I think this is her chance to not repeat. Knight of Wands in the reverse. It's like, it doesn't matter that you aren't a Knight of Wands in the reverse anymore. You were with me when you had a chance to have treated me better. So I get it. You're a King of Swords now. That's what you're showing me because you're saying you wish that's not who you had been. You already said that. There's nothing more, though, that I need from you. Thank you for the apology. And we're done. Death card. Thank you. That closed out a chapter. I think this is her chance to advocate for herself and say no to an ex who wants another chance. And I think she would have given them another chance, or did in a past life, or did in a past scenario. And the answer today is no. If she wants to clear her own cycle, her answer would be no. And again, this is not to say she's done anything wrong. Like, if she wanted somebody back, by all means, take them back. But if in truth she has better and she's wanting to liberate herself and she doesn't want to deal with exes anymore, she wants the balance that she's created in her life to continue, then this says there's other lovers out there for you, babe. You, other men, women, whatever your preference is, will want you. Yeah, the ex wants you too, but there's other lovers too. So you don't have to take back somebody who already did you dirty. You can totally welcome in somebody new. And maybe that's where her energy should be. Maybe this marks the ending for her of realizing I get to pick somebody better, somebody different, and I know somebody else will want to pick me too. Maybe this is a wonderful way to just close the chapter. I'm picturing somebody right now wiping off their countertop. And it's like, wow, I don't even remember that once upon a time there was, raw chicken and, slimy stuff on my counter. It's all clean. It's all tidy. It's my kitchen is tidy. I'm ready to make a new dish. I'm ready for a completely different chapter. That's how this feels. Like, she's just ready for a completely different chapter. The Hierophant, there's that breakthrough for her. This is a feminine. Well, it doesn't have to be a feminine. That's just how she showed up in this. But this is somebody who is truly facing an ex and recognizing, yeah, but this is the moment that I needed to get to realize I don't want the ex back, and I'm okay with that. I move on. There's other lovers. I hear my higher self speaking to me saying, don't take back what you don't really want. You've created such balance in your life. Move on and pick somebody else. There could be a Gemini on her horizon just because of that Lovers card. Could be an awesome Aries out there for her. I mean, could be any other fire sign, but I just don't see this as her taking back an ex. I think the moment she faces this ex one more time, accepts their apology, is the moment, and doesn't take them back, is the moment she actually graduates toward having somebody that is the right person for her, who's totally different. All right. Thank you guys for being here. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing.